welcome to the Northern Counties East League podcast. I'm Richard Watts. I'm now joined by League General Manager Matt Jones.
Hello and welcome to episode 52 of the official Northern Counties East League podcast. There's only one place we can begin this week, and that's to send congratulations to Silsden, who have been crowned Premier Division champions after a 2-1 win at Pickering Town. Silsden knew that a win for them at the weekend, coupled with Golker United not winning, would give them the title, and Hallam did their part at Golker, beating the home side 2-0. But half-time at Pickering, things weren't going Silsden's way as they trailed 1-0. Cale Price levelled for Silsden midway through the second half, before Robbie Fox's 82nd minute strike was enough to clinch the title with 2 games to spare. Silsden will now play in the Northern Premier League next season, and after leading the division for most of this season are certainly worthy champions. We wish them well and will follow their progress with interest. Hallam's victory at Golker has sealed them a playoffs place, with 4 sides battling to join them for the 3 remaining positions: Golker United, Beverley Town, Thackley and Albion Sports. One of those 4 will ultimately miss out on a spot in the playoffs this season. With Goole and Winterton Rangers already confirmed in the relegation spots, the remaining 12 teams, that's from 7th placed Handsworth down to 18th placed Frickley, now know that they won't be going up or down this season. In Division 1, momentum appears to have swung back the way of Horbury Town after an injury time winner from Thomas Brook secured a 2-1 home win over already relegated Yorkshire Amateurs. Horbury are currently 7 points clear of second place Wakefield, who needed a last-minute equaliser from Billy Mole to claim a point at second from bottom Appleby Frodingham. Wombwell Town remain in third place after an emphatic 4-0 win over Worsbridge Bridge Athletic on Friday evening, while Durnham District are fourth after a 2-1 win over Nostell. Ilkley Town currently occupy the final 5th playoff position despite a 3-1 defeat at Harrogate Railway Athletic. Ilkley's defeat didn't prove too costly for them, as playoff chasing Brig and Worsbridge Bridge both lost as well. We've already mentioned Worsbridge Bridge's game at Wombwell, while Brig was surprisingly beaten 3-0 at home by Shelley, who themselves have been struggling recently. That's just 1 win in the last 6 games for the Zebras, who have hit a stumble in form at just the wrong point of the season. Another surprise on Saturday was the weather, with the games between Handsworth and Knaresborough in the Premier Division and between Glasshoughton and Louth in Division 1 both abandoned at half-time after what can only be described as a deluge of rain. Usually when we get to March, we're confident that any potential weather problems are over, but that certainly wasn't the case last weekend. In fact, we actually commented on the way back home from the game at Pickering, when it was slinging it down all the way home, that we were lucky to only get 2 games abandoned. On to the coming weekend, we have 7 Premier Division matches on Saturday, with a full programme of 11 matches in Division 1. Non-league day last weekend was a great success, with many of our teams hosting special events. Just under 5,000 people attended one of our fixtures on Friday and Saturday. Thanks as always to everybody for your tremendous support.
Right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the NCEL podcast. We have with us this evening Si, Jordan and Richard. Good evening, guys.
Evening.
Hello.
And as I always say, good evening to our listener, who we do it all for. Right, let's dive in. Friday night is football night, and there was 2 matches in the Prem and 3 in Division 1. Now, a significant result in the Prem was Bradford Derby. Albion won, Thackley won. A good crowd for Albion that night, 220. I think it's well above their average. But it was a vital point for probably more for Thackley, but we'll come on to that as we go talk about midweek fixtures and the league table. But it was a significant result for both teams, really. And then we had this other match in the Prem. Barton won, Tadcaster won. A good crowd, 327. Over to you, Richard, about the match reports.
Yeah, not a lot to report, really. Typical end of season game, nothing to play for. Fair result. Both teams pretty even. I'd say Tadcaster looked a far better team than they did earlier in the season. They pass it about nicely. But Yeah, surprised at how good the crowd was. Really, it shows Friday night football again. There's nothing to
Yeah,
play for, and it was just a typical end of season game.
yeah, especially because England was on the telly that night as well, wasn't it? So that was
That's
good.
right. Yeah, and that might have encouraged more people to come.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't a great match, was it? If I remember. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's good. Well, two good crowds, Albion and that. Yeah.
Yeah. Just every time it's working, isn't it? Friday night football.
Yeah, we had it at Gould when we played Friday nights at Gould. It's always been a better crowd, so people are not going to watch the Championship or League One, two others. So we get them, which is good. Which is good. Should be more of it, I think.
Yeah.
Right. Division 1, Friday night Division 1, Durham District 2, Nostell 1. So that keeps Durham District up there. Harrogate 3, Ilkley 1. Good result, Harrogate, because Ilkley did well the other week. They had a good result. So that was a bit of a slight setback for Ilkley on their playoff hopes. And then we had, sorry.
I think Ilkley had won 5 on the bounce before that game as well. So also
right.
beating Wakefield in the midweek before. So yeah, when I was looking at that, I was a bit shocked by that result.
Yeah. Well, football's a funny old game as we come on with some of the results going forward. Well, and the other game was Wombwell 4, Worsborough 0. So that's a good result for Wombwell, and a good crowd again for Friday night, 377. So that's a good one indeed. And then we come on to Saturday. It was non-league day. There was 7 games in the Prem. Beverley 3, Campion 0. So that's a good win for Beverley against Campion. And a crowd there, I don't know if you saw it, guys, another good one to the Northwood, 601. That's a good crowd. They are packing them in at Beverley, aren't they?
Certainly are, yeah.
They had the new stand unveiled, that fixture as well. They've got a new stand behind one of the goal, the opposite side to the cricket pitch. So I think they had Tommy Coyle that unveiled it, the boxer. So obviously that will have brought a few extra in.
Yeah, that's right. You're right there, John. Yeah. So that was a good day for them, and a good win. Bottisford 2, Rossington 3. So it's a good win for Rossington on the Bottisford 3G. Then we've got Frickley 0, Parkgate 1. And that was a 12:30 kickoff. And they had a good crowd, 337. Probably over their biggest crowd of the season, I would imagine, Frickley, but I might be wrong, but that's a good crowd there. And then it was second versus third, Golcar 0, Hallam 2. 744. That's a really good crowd. Disappointing result for Golcar, as we'll come on shortly, but kept Hallam in second place, I think, now. Then Handsworth and Knaresborough. Well, there was must have been a thunderstorm or something around at Sheffield on Saturday afternoon, because it was 1-0 to Knaresborough, and then at half time, the match was abandoned. Waterlogged pitch.
I think looking back at that, I think it wasn't actually the pitch that was the issue. It was the surrounding, so the footpaths around the pitch. They'd all flooded. So for spectator safety, I think they cancelled it for that. By the time the players had come back out, the pitch was drier and playable. But obviously the surrounding areas wasn't.
Yeah, I think the water was running off from somewhere. So yeah, it's a shame for Knaresborough because they're 1-0 up, but that's been rescheduled. And then moving on, Penistone 1, Eckershill 0. And then congratulations to Silsden, because they beat Pickering 2-1. Pickering took the lead, but Silsden come back with two goals in the second half. Robbie Fox, I believe, got the second. And with the results of Hallam beating Golcar, that clinched the title for them. So well done, Silsden, from having on the podcast. I mean, they've been up there doing the running all season, haven't they, really?
Yeah, they haven't really dropped off, have they, really, at any stage? Maybe looked a bit ropey when Hallam beat them, but apart from that, they've kept it up well, haven't they?
Yeah. I mean, they are worthy winners. I I mean, if you remember last season, Richard, those up there, then they sort of tailed off towards the second half, didn't they? But this season, they've kept going strong, So that's well, congratulations, Susan. Now, champions, that's been confirmed. So good luck to them next season in the Northern Premier League. I look forward to their ongoing progress. Then we're moving to Division 1. I've got egg on my face here because I predicted last week, I thought that Wakefield would win this one. But over to you, Si.
I'm sorry, the match review that you've ordered can't be delivered for this one. Yeah, Appleby won, Wakefield won. But hey, how many times did we say it before when we looked at that Silsden Winterton game? In this level, any team can do it on the day. Apparently, I didn't go to this one, but apparently we weren't at it at all. And credit to Appleby, they're battling to avoid relegation if they can, aren't they? So they had a lot to play for as well. Took the lead just before half time. It's never a great time to concede. And then, it looked like we were actually going to lose it. It was on the 90th minute when we got an equaliser, which notably for us, that was Billy Mole's 50th goal for the club. So congratulations, Billy, for that one. Obviously, his 49 previous ones came in his first stint with us. It's his first one since he came back. Rescued a point, but probably a point too late, as we'll come on to, eh?
Yeah, we'll come on to it. Yeah, that's right. So well, this is a point for Wakefield, and a good point for Appleby, definitely. Right, then moving on. Armthorpe 7, Swallownest 2. So that's raining goals at Armthorpe. I don't know if it was actually raining there, but it was raining goals for Armthorpe, 7-2. And then Brig 0, Shelley 3, and that's a good win for Shelley to beat Brig 3-0, because Brig have been playing well this season. But it was at the Winton Rangers ground, because they're having groundwork done at Brig. And then the match I went to, because Gould didn't have a fixture, so I went to see Club Thorn. I've been wanting to go see Club Thorn for a bit, but when we've got fixtures, you never get a chance to see them. They was at home to Selby. Now, my first thing, because I've not been to Club Thorn, I think maybe years ago, but as you're driving up, great parking. But that's one thing, because not some clubs you can go to and you can struggle to park, but plenty of parking at Club Thorn. I love the main stand. I know it's probably a bit aged, but it's a really, really great stand, especially when you're walking toward the ground. And I love the setup there at Club Thorn. Nice people. It was a good match. Club Thorn took the lead through Samuel. No, Selby took the lead. Sorry, Selby took the lead through Samuel Calvert after 4 minutes. Shot from just outside the box. And Selby was pretty more on top, I would have thought, in the first half. But in the second half, Club Thorn come out, played well, got an equaliser through Jordan Buckham, a looping header over Joe Wilton in the Selby goal, ex-goalkeeper. Because that's another reason we went to see Joe in goal. Because Selby also have Finlay Wade, ex-goal when you're playing for Selby. But I think at the end of the day, it was a fair result. 1-1. A good crowd again, 211. I think Club Thorn's second highest gate of the season. So, I enjoyed it. I look forward to going again I'll probably go in next year, we go. But I look forward to going again.
How are they getting on with their facilities, Bob? Because they had, was it like their clubhouse and changing rooms? They had that fire earlier in the season, didn't they? Was it a fire? I think they had.
Yeah, it was. As you're approaching it, because it's to the right of the ground, isn't it? And there's a big gaping hole in the roof. So I presume they're waiting for the insurance. I do believe it was arson, but I might be wrong on that. But
no, I think you're right. I remember that being I'm sure that's why I was thinking it was fire. I vaguely remember that from earlier in the year. Yeah.
So it's very unsightly. So I just hope we get the insurance and then get it repaired. But it's a shame. It's a shame. But they put these containers in for dressing rooms that we've got to go, and it seems to work for them. But obviously they'd like the proper facilities back, wouldn't? Because they're only temporary,
Absolutely.
Yeah. But they're soldering on, so that's good. That's good. Then moving on, Dronfield 2, Maltby 1, another good crowd, 256. Then Glassouten and Louth. Now Louth were 3-0 up at half time, and it was abandoned because again another deluge. Waterlogged pitch, and I saw some pictures on Glassouten's ex-Twitter, and before and after, oh dear, it was definitely waterlogged. So, but it's going to be a long trip for Louth. I think it's an evening fixture being rearranged, so they go up to Glassouten on an evening. And it's a shame for them when they're 3-0, but you can't do anything about the weather, I'm afraid. And then we'll come on to Horbury 2, Yorkshire Archers 1. Over to you, Jordan.
Well, it's another fixture that I missed. I was away for the weekend, and it looks like I missed an absolute...
I think we've lost you there, Jordan. You've gone silent?
Your sound's gone quiet.
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
A bit better.
Right, I'll start anyway. See if you can hear me. So yeah, I missed this fixture. I was away for the weekend, so it looks like I've missed an absolute belter there. With a 90th minute winner from Tom Brook, which obviously results at Wakefield put us in a great position, especially with midweek results that we'll come on to as well. We'll have to give a special mention to Yorkshire Amateurs keeper, because when I did the match highlights, we had 21 shots on goal in the second half alone, and it took a 94th minute corner to manage to get past the keeper. Apparently, was absolutely brilliant all game. But yeah, we've only scraped past bottom of the league, Yorkshire Amateurs, in 2 of those games. And as Si alludes to many a time, anyone can beat anyone in this league, and they were definitely a tough opponent. But yeah, I don't think that weekend could have gone much better for Horbury.
Yeah. It just shows you. I mean, even these teams is towards the bottom end of the table, they're still fighting out there. Appleby and Yorkshire Amateurs, definitely.
And it's the hardest thing in football to get over the line, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, because I mean,
So much pressure.
Yeah, the thing is, like when I look at it on the outside, when you look at Aubrey and Wakefield, the top of first and second, they're playing bottom team, and is it second bottom? You expect them to win, so the pressure's on them to win, really. And if the other team takes the lead like the Appleby did, you're under pressure, then, aren't you? So it's not easy. It's not easy at all. Especially when
like you said last week, it's down to mentality as much as ability at this point in the season.
Yeah, absolutely, Sam.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Then we had a 7-goal thriller, South Leeds 4, Athersley 3. So South Leeds come out 4-3. So that's the reigning goals there. And then we'll move on to Monday night in the Prem. And we have a result there, a bit important result for Albion. It was Albion 3 at Bottisford 1. But we'll come on to that, onto the league tables, why that's important when we get to the league tables. And then moving on to Tuesday night in the Prem, we had Golcar 3, Frickley 0. So I think that cemented Golcar's playoff place with that win, so guaranteeing the playoff place in the playoffs. So well done, Golcar. Then Division 1, Durham District 2, Wakefield 0. Over to you, Si.
Yeah, we kind of picked the wrong point of the season to hit our worst run of form. Yeah, three games in a row now, 1 point from 9, which after you go on a 23 match unbeaten run means nothing once you then go and drop points. But Durham District were up for it. It was frustrating because this is the match where we were 2-0 up at their place deep into the second half when the lights went out, and we've had to replay it. But that's that's the rules. That's the way it goes, isn't it? It's the rules of the league. To have gone from that position to now then losing, and that's probably the one that there's still a statistical chance that we could get a title, but the odds are vastly in Horbury's favour now, and that's the one that kind of does it. So we're probably looking and focusing on trying to get that confidence and the football back ready, for the playoffs. There's still football to be played. Horbury's still got to go out there and win it, but results go their way. It could be like Silsden could get it done early, could even do it this weekend.
Yeah.
Depends what happens. Obviously, Wakefield and Woolwell as well will try and take it as far as they can, and then if they can't, then we'll focus on playoffs and see where we go from there.
Yeah, I think it was a good crowd on the night as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a massive crowd. It was really good. It was because they haven't got a pitch that you can get all the way around. Like some places you've got like two ends and one side. And the whole length of the touchline was full of fans. So yeah, it was a really good crowd.
Yeah.
And yeah, just unfortunate, but it's another game where they weren't at the races, and Durner District just battled better, won all the headers, and got the goals when they needed them. We switched formations, tried something different in the second half, but just couldn't get anything to put it in the net, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, crowd was 413. I'm just looking, so that was a good crowd, wasn't it, for Tuesday night football?
Yeah.
Very good, very good. So, moving on then. And the other game in that Division 1 that night was Harrogate 1, a good win for Club Thorn, because Club Thorn scored 4 goals, 4-1 winners. So, a good result to go to Harrogate there and win 4-1. So, Club Thorn in their first season in the Div 1 having a very good season, really, I would say. And then moving on to Wednesday night, just the one match in Division 1. It was South Leeds 1, Woolwell 1. So, Woolwell, good point for Woolwell, but and that keeps them up there in third place, just behind Wakefield in the tables. We'll come to the tables shortly. But I had a quick look on the attendances on non-league day, and there were 6 matches in the non-league in the Prem, with a total crowd over the 6 matches of 2,240, average 373. So that's really good. When you're above anything above 200, but an average of 373 is good. And Div 1, 7 matches, 1170, an average of 167. And if you're taking on Friday night matches, altogether the crowd over the 2 Friday night and the Saturday was 4,679 with an average of 260. So that's some really healthy crowd. So with the Friday night football and non-league day, with no championship and league and Premier Division, that's really good for non-league. So we could maybe do with a few more non-league days in the season. I think there's only the one, isn't there? I think I'm right on that. Yeah. So that's sort of gives non-league day a good advertisement. Right, well, that's my stats done, so I'll move on to the tables. Right, we'll start with the Prem. Silsden played 36, 80 points. And then Hallam, 36, 73, so 7 points difference, so that confirms, as we said, it's Silsden champions. Well done to Silsden. Then Golkar with that win of the night, 36, 71 points, confirmed their playoff ambitions. Then Beverley at 4, 36, 65. Thackley 36, 63. Now Albion have dropped below Thackley because they had a 3 points deduction. I don't know if you saw this, guys.
Ineligible player.
Yeah, and against Ripley on the 27th of December. So for that to come at this particular stage, because that pushed them out of the playoffs. They were on 65 points, but now they've gone to 62, so they've dropped below Thackley into 6th position. So with only 2 games to go, so Albion will be wanting to win the next 2 games, but disappointing for the club and the fans. But that's, it's just one of those things. Because at the end of the day, whatever's gone off, we're all volunteers, and these things do happen, don't they? You know.
They've got Rossington and Handsworth as well for the last two, so they're not even. I know there's no easy ties anyway, but they're not. You know, they're both tricky matches as well.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Certainly are. So, yeah. And then we'll look at the bottom. Not a lot of change at the bottom. Winterton 36-21. They didn't have a game Saturday, like ourselves, 36-25. Frickley just got one game to go now. Played 37-33. And Tadcaster 36-37. So no change at the bottom, really. And then we'll go on to Division 1. And it's Horbury played 39-89. Goal difference 64. Wakefield 38-82. So the game in hand. Goal difference 57. So 7 goals difference between Wakey and Horbury on the goal difference. Wombwell chasing Wakefield 38-82. Same number of points. Their goal difference is 55. Durham District 39-75 points. Ilkley 39-70. Briggs 39-66. So there's a 4-point gap between 5th and 6th. And Worsborough 39-66. So they're still on the outside with a chance for a playoff. But in Selby, drawing it Club Thorn 39-63. I think their playoff hopes have just about gone now. But I might be wrong. I got egg on my face last week. I might be wrong, but they've got to win all the last games and hope the results go for them.
I think Selby will feel hard done by, similar to how Wakefield did with Dearn, because early in the season, Selby were beating Wombwell 2-0 with 10 minutes to go, and the game got abandoned for an injury. And then when the fixture got played, Wombwell won 6-2. So that's Selby would be on 66 points, really. So they'd be well and truly in it.
Yeah. You find that you're winning, then you get rearranged and you lose. You know, it's but that's football, isn't it? But that's how it goes. Yeah. But you're right, Jordan. What you say there. Yeah. I bet the Selby supporters are thinking that same as the Wakefield against Dearn as well. Yeah. Then at the bottom, it's Yorkshire, which is 39-15. Appleby 39-26, and that's with a 3-point deduction. Nostell 38-30. Then Dronfield, they've climbed out the relegation, 39-32, but they had 3 points deducted of the week. But I think Dronfield won at the weekend, so they've climbed out. And then Louth 38-40. So really, you're looking at, say, 3 teams from before there at the bottom, as I would say. What do you agree, guys?
Yeah, Nostell's got a game in hand as well, as you sort of point that out. So that could be crucial. That one game in hand, that could lift them out if they get that win.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's where we are on the league tables. And so let's have a look at our team of the week. Team of the week. Well, I'm going to go first tonight. I'm going to put my cards on the table. It has to be Silsden for winning at Pickering and winning the title. They've had a great season. 36 games, 80 points. In Robbie Fox and Casey Stewart, got 2 great marksmen. So I think they're deserved winners. So I'm going to go for the team of the week, Silsden. Jordan, what's your team of the week? Is he there? Have we lost Jordan? Have we lost the link?
Sounds gone again.
Yeah. Oh, we'll go on to Richard then.
I think I'd second everything you said about Silsden, but to pick somebody different, I think I'd pick Shelley going and winning 3-0 at Brig, which is a pretty good result, and they've sort of picked up latterly. So I think I'd go for Shelley this week.
That's fair enough. And Si, your team of the week.
I had Silsden as well, and I ain't got a backup. I'm sort of looking round through the results to see if I can who else I'd pick out of these. Maybe Armthorpe for scoring 7. You know, they've been up and down this season, and they put 7 past Solnest at home. Big win. Maybe go for that one. But Silsden definitely, would definitely get it for the title.
That's fair enough then. That's fair enough. Right then, we'll look on the coming fixtures for this week. There's no matches Friday night. So we'll go straight into Saturday. Beverley at home to Penistone. Campion home to Winterton. Eccles Hill to Barton, Richard. So you'll be going, obviously, doing your commentary.
Yeah, we finished the season with 3 trips to Bradford, and I hope Bradford City aren't at home because I had an absolute nightmare getting back from the last one. I don't look at their fixtures. So always a tough place to go. And I'm sure it's usually a good game. So looking forward to it, but not the journey.
No. Well, I'll come on to our goal fixture in a minute because we got something similar. Handsworth at home to Golcar. Knaresborough home to Bottisford. Tadcaster at home to Hallam. Then Sackley at home to Goole. So I hadn't. Jordan's back. We lost you, Jordan.
I just coughed to try and make it work.
You did the job. It's clearest it's been all programme.
Oh dear God.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I'm just going through the fixtures. Sackley is there home to Goole. So just echoing what you say, Richard. Let's hope Bradford City are at home, because if it is, and I know what you're saying, it does get busy, doesn't it? Definitely.
I can confirm for you that they're away to Accrington Stanley, so you're fine, sir. Only thing you might get is all the Bradford fans coming back from Accrington because it's a lunchtime kickoff, so you might get them coming back into Bradford. But yeah, Bradford City's not at home. I did double check for you.
Well, I'm not too bothered with that. We've got to get there. That's the main thing in the first place. When we check all the kit and everything, they're going to want that, you know. But it's a bit. Looking at Sackley, where they are in the league, they've got 2 home games. They've got Goals this week, and then they've got Richards Barton the following week. And if they want to keep in the playoffs, it's 2 games they really need to win. So it's a big game for Sackley. For us, we're playing for pride, and we want to get as high as many points as we can. But that's Sackley, a big game for Sackley. But just before I go on to the Division 1 fixtures, we'll just go back to Jordan. Now he's rejoined us.
Probably won't work now.
Well, I thought I'd get on to you before we lose you again.
If you want my team of the week, I'll give it to Durnan District. 1, for obvious reasons, and 2, because they did have a disappointing defeat the week before to Louth, and then they've obviously played 2 games, picked up 6 points, and I think they're pretty much guaranteed playoffs now, albeit on goal difference. I think they've just got to pick up 1 more point. So that's a great season for them in their first at counties level. So, Durnan District.
Just got to keep putting salt in the wounds, Jordan.
Yeah. If we're not careful, we'll be losing the link to Si as well. Moving on quickly then, we'll go on to Division 1. Fixtures: Athersley at home to Swallownest, Clubthorne home to Shelley, and then Ilkley home to Horbury. That should be a good game, Jordan.
Yeah. Looking forward to this one. It's my first one I've watched in 3 games, so just looking forward to getting back. Ilkley are a very good side, play decent football, especially on their own surface. And obviously, with results that have gone in the past 7 days, mathematically speaking, there is a very slim chance that the trophy could be heading its way back to Horbury by 5 p.m. But I do expect Wakefield and Munwell to at least pick up a point, if not 3. And just on a side note, I forgot to mention from our Yorkshire amateur game, we suffered, one of our players, Jibril Bojang, suffered a leg break. So he's out for 3 months plus. Which is disappointing. Obviously, our top goal scorer is going to miss the running now. But we've done a fundraiser for him and raised £1,500, and the lads are playing for free on Saturday and donating it straight to Jibril, which is good. So it shows we've got a very good club spirit. Everyone gets behind each other, and we wish Jibril a very speedy recovery.
Oh, well, that's absolutely brilliant, Jordan. And
I second that as well.
That shows you what non-league football's all about. Really, the non-league family. Really, that's brilliant. But all the best to you. And I hope he recovers. Recovery goes well. Yeah. Right. And moving on, we've got Louth versus Harrogate. Mortby home to Glasshoughton, Nostell home to Dronfield, and that's a big result. That's a big match for Dronfield and Nostell, really, aren't they? Because they're both. Am I right in saying they're both towards the bottom, aren't they?
It's the relegation playoff, that one, effectively, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Because when I look at it, Nostell are third bottom and Dronfield fourth bottom. So yeah, that's a big clash, that really. Definitely. So we'll discuss that next week. Then Selby home to Dernan District. So that could be a tough match for Dernan because Selby, they get good crowds and I think they play well at home to Selby. South Leeds at home to Brigg and Wakefield at home to Armthorpe.
Again, one of those teams that can pull off a result, and when you're on a bit of a rut, it's sometimes difficult to turn that ship around and get your confidence back. But hopefully we can get it back together and get back to playing the way that we did. That got us up the table.
Yeah.
Need a big result.
We do. Yeah.
I'll do Woolwell as well in the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because next one is Woolwell versus Appleby. And say last week, Appleby get the point off Wakefield. You never know what's going to happen there. If Appleby put in a good performance like they did against Wakefield, you just never know, do you? You never know. Then Yorkshire I mentioned home to Worsborough. So that's Saturday's fixtures. Then moving on to Monday night in the Prem, we've got Albion at home to Rossington. Say Albion want to get the 3 points there because, well, in fact, as you said like before, they've got two tough games. Albion, Rossington, and as it Handless away. So that's that's some tough games coming up there. And then on the 1st of April, we've got the first semi-final of the JCP Construction NCEL Cup in memory of James Hitchcock, Barton Town goalkeeper. It's Knaresborough versus Penistone, the first semi-final. So the finals at Scunthorpe, as we said before, I think it's on May the 6th. So the second semi-finals the following week we're against is it Beverley and Silsden, isn't it? That's right, yeah.
Right, yeah.
And on Tuesday, yeah, that's right. And on Tuesday night we've got Silsden, and you've got a trip to Silsden on Tuesday night because they're playing Barton Town, Richard.
We have, yeah. We certainly haven't got a very good record going there, so it's another long trip, and nothing to play for. But I would think Silverstone will be. Will that be are they at home on Saturday? I don't know if it's the first.
No, they're not playing.
They're not playing, so it'll be their chance. They'll be bringing the trophy home. So
yeah. So I reckon it'll be a good turnout of Silverstone to support us for that match.
So.
Yeah.
We'll have to do a guard of honour.
Yes, I think so. Hope we can stop the celebration, but I'm not overly confident.
You never know. We went there and got a draw. We nearly won. We were 2-1 up with 8 minutes to go. And
well, we beat them at Barton.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, really good. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was early on its season, wasn't it? Yes.
It was.
Yeah. And then after you beat them, they went on a great run. I think
it certainly did. Yeah.
And that's what's got them the title, you know. Yeah. Is it a rearranged match? I presume it's a rearranged game.
Yeah. I can't remember when it was. It was a while ago. The original.
Yeah, because I would have think something like this would have been a Saturday fixture, wouldn't it, to save the journey on an evening. Right, then moving on Tuesday night, we've got Atherstone in Division 1, Atherstone versus Harrogate. And then in the Prem on Wednesday night, we've got Eccles Hill versus Campion. So that's all the matches talked about. But did you see, guys, that Winterton have changed have a change in manager, haven't they, this week? They've appointed Robbie Start because Lee and Steve Ridley have left the club. Did you see that, Richard?
I hadn't seen that. No. And Robbie Start, former Barton player and various have been at Ferriby, I think. Good left back in his day.
All right. Well, I thought you might know them. I've never heard of Robbie Start, but But he's taken over with immediate effect, so he'll be in charge for the next 2 games. And I also say that Campion are looking for an assistant manager or a joint manager to help them going forward, So, yeah. But I've just got some fixtures, remaining fixtures to look at. I'm going to start in Division 1, as we touched on it earlier, at the bottom. Yorkshire have got 3 games left. They're on to Worsborough, as I said, this Saturday, then Ilkley away and Appleby at home. And Appleby got 1-1 away, Worsborough at home, and Yorkshire Amateurs away. That could be a big match for last game at sea. But Nostell, they've got Dronfield at home, Lassalton away, and Harrogate at home. Then Dronfield, Nostell away, Selby at home, and Shelley away.
That's it for this edition. If you've got any news for the podcast or you'd like to appear on the podcast, please email ncelpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.